I think that also sort of falls under remember your audience too, huh? Since we're here and we're burning through these resolutions.
Yeah.
Remember your audience is kind of a big deal regardless of who you're talking to. Funny enough, and like with what we're talking about here, with the refinery, who our audience is, we know who our audience is. Our audience is not random person coming off the street to check out some fun, awesome show about conservative. No, that's not who our audience is. Our audience is people who are tired of being on the rage treadmill. The people who actually want to get stuff done and not just talk about getting stuff done and be upset. We're really upset and no, we actually want to get things done. We want to be successful and we want to bring more success to the party as a whole. But remembering who it is you're talking to at all times is extremely important. It goes back to the rant situation. You don't want to be ranting in front of people that would be obviously turned off by it. Leslie said that she's got a place to post her rants in a safe environment, in a place where you're not going to be causing extra harm to your cause. That's important, and that's good to have. To have the sort of secure spot to talk about these things. Maybe if you're cool and you get on the double secret probation list, you can find the rant spot that Leslie's talking about. But these are important discussions to have about who you're trying to communicate with.
Hey,
Another thing, I wanted to just jump in here. Whenever you are talking in a thread with somebody, and maybe you're debating a liberal, maybe you're just having regular conversation about an issue, there are tons of people who can potentially see what you're doing, who might be apolitical, but something might have caught their eye. Or maybe the way that, say, Facebook is structured, your comment will show up in their feed even though they're not following the thread. And onlookers that you will never know saw that. And so it's when you're debating a liberal, you're not trying to convert the liberal, you're trying to influence the audience watching, the people in the gallery. When you're having a conversation that's internal and you put that in an internal place, then you can be more free about how to express yourself, I think, and maybe use language that you wouldn't want to use in a broader term. It's a situational awareness thing, and making sure that what you're doing is not causing harm, because your higher value is winning and communicating effectively, which is higher than I'm going to emote, I'm going to vent, I'm going to say what I want to say, and consequences be damned.
Okay, so Fishy just laid out all the right ways to do it, and I'm serious. That is positive. That is uplifting. That is exciting. That's a conservatism that we wake up in the morning wanting to be part of. I want to go back for a second and ask JD to spend a few moments, if he would, describing the term the rage treadmill. That was wonderful. Did you come up with that, or is that like you see it somewhere? Because if there is one thing that is burning out and really killing the productivity of the conservative movement, holding it back, it's what you just described.
Yeah, actually, that was me, as far as I'm aware. Fishy and I were talking about this yesterday. Not yesterday. I don't remember when it was. We were talking about this and talking about the resolutions, particularly the next couple that we'll be hitting on. And it sort of the visual came to me that this is what happens. You have activists, you have people who want to do stuff to get stuff done, but they get sort of drawn into the perpetual outrage mode. And what happens is that it's burning hard every second, and you're outraged, you're really ticked off. We have to get these bums out, throw out these bums. There's a lot of bums being mentioned, and schmucks, and other things, and you can't sustain yourself on that. You just burn out. It's not going to. You can't go. You're not achieving anything. You're not getting anywhere. All you're doing is you're being perpetually ornery. It's not healthy. It's not helpful. And what do you have? What can you show for your work after, you know, X amount of time? What are you actually? What tangible change have you gotten? It's very, very hard to see anything, and at that point you're really disheartened because you've been putting your heart and soul into this. You hate the left. You hate these liberals. You've been doing what the people that you trust in the media have been saying to do. You're angry. You're outraged. You're, you know, ready to start fights. Ready to get into this. Call out these libtards for who they are. These what's the demo rats? Democrats. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I was trying to find the. I knew there was rats in there somewhere. I had to find it. But that's it. And yeah, please go, Corey.
Just going along with what you're saying, if we as die-hard conservative political junkies get exhausted by this, how do people who are like our friends who want to be involved but don't have the time, or people who are just casually interested, how is that going to affect them?
You were talking about burnout, Corey. It's so true. It's exhausting, but it's also breeding hopelessness. And people who don't believe that there's a way to fix things will give up. And we don't need that. We need people focused on what we can do. We're not going to be able to change everything, and we're certainly not going to be able to change everything right away. But we don't want to suck the very little bit of energy that most people who've been on this ride for years now have left. We need them to be able to access things, to find things that they can do, actions they can take, so that they get some victories, so that they continue to be able to be involved. If you suck the energy and the life and the will out of them, they will go home and they will not come back.
And we can't afford to lose anybody. We cannot afford that.
Does your value for somebody hinge on how much they agree with you? In that case, you don't value them at all. You only value agreement with you. And if you only value agreement with you, then the only one you value is you.